Greetings and the best of salutations. This segment is called the Stay Strong segment. The Stay Strong segment really deals with three aspects of staying strong when it comes to three illnesses of the society based on social comparison. One is mental suicide. The other is emotional homicide. And the other is spiritual genocide. Cutting through the life force of our existence. Excuse me. Marcus Garvey, a brother from Jamaica, says that the greatest force is success. And people surround themselves with evidence of that success. Be fair, probably paraphrasing what Booker T. Washington talks about. Success is not in your position. It's just how the obstacles that you have to overcome to get to where you are. So we must be responsible with our thinking, with our emotions, and with our actions. During these trying times in the society in which we live, due to many outside disturbances and many uncertainties, it seems to penetrate the moral fabric of the totality of our well-being, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Excuse me, not to mention the sensationalization due to entertainment, media, press, and television, and their emphasis on salesmanship and looking and making people focus on the more so on a higher percentage on the negative rather than the positive, because the prefix linguistically of the word pause is to have access to be, and that's accessibility, and that deals with a constant flow, and the negative is to negate access to, then therefore there is a blockage. Anytime there is a blockage, there is a dis-ease or a disease, a sickness. Yes, and anything that is sick, it stinks, it's stale, it's stagnant. In the words of the educator, late Dr. Seymour says, you have to take a serious look at culture when it becomes destructive. When it becomes destructive. Because it is dynamic, it changes, it compensates and fills the void, that which is missing. That which is missing is self-love, self-care, self-respect, self-acceptance, and self-determination to be able to overcome all obstacles and odds that may come your way, come our way. Well, it says that the highest suicide mortality rate worldwide, Lithuania, Russia, Guyana, South Korea says that men are highly more likely to do it, participate in that actions rather than women. You know, I always like to get out of the gender form and speak generically. Men means potential and associated with women because we're all here to reach our full potential. That's the purpose, and the primary purpose of humankind is to move from sympathy to empathy. And when you do that, you overcome a spirit of apathy. According to the organization of corporation development, deals with economics as well. Yes. Anytime I think of that, I always think about the Irish in America and how people outside wondering why they act the way that they were, behave the way they were behaving in a certain manner. And they associated, was it a morality problem? It has something to do with also social comparison and economics, So this is suicide and the rate that affects people worldwide, going beyond race, going beyond class, going beyond gender, going beyond class, economics, politics, and religion, Depression, is your energy is down. I think the late Dr. King says about the ghetto that it's like a domestic colony always being depleted and not replenished, and I liken unto this when it comes to human beings, interacting with people who are constantly pulling at you, taking from you. I gave a presentation maybe 3 weeks ago, being able to distinguish between attachment and connection. Attachment is a host. It sucks, does its best to suck the blood and the life out of you. But yet, when we think of the word present during this, what we call the holiday season, the present is you, because you are here in the present. You are the gift. Unwrap the gift of your innate abilities, your innate qualities, your innate strength that resides in you. You and I are the gift of life. That's why we're here. We are the present. So we deal with this depression, whether sometimes harsh living conditions, weather is your mood. The climate is your personality. The weather is your mood. The climate is your personality. When I think of climate, under the late teachings of Chinkandiyapi says, climatic, it is the climatic differences that we have amongst one another. Harsh conditions, alcoholism, radical changes. Sometimes when you become so dependent on something and that which you become dependent upon is not there no more. And then it could be your mother, it could be your father, your dog, your cat, something that you depend on, and then you get to a point where you have no reason to live. Some could be dependent on social media. Some could be dependent on, their wealth. And when you don't have it no more, you become depressed, and depression leads to suicide. But remember what you have. You have this breath. You have this life, you have your eyes, you have your nose, you have your skin, you have your tongue, you have you, and you have me, and we have each other. Here in America, we know leading causes of suicide is firearm and suffocation. I think Dr. King says that many people are smoldering in an airtight cage of poverty amongst an affluent society. I'm paraphrasing that one. But suffocation, you can't breathe, and we know here in America what we experienced here in an incident that took place on these shores, and the term is I can't breathe. It takes on the form of how people have been influenced and having the wrong attitude about themselves and about life and about others, that they will go to extreme measures to take the life of another. And therefore there's poisoning, and we can deal with even the food and even in the water, the drink. And we know here in the States that took place in a certain area as well when it comes to water. There's a lot that needs to be done that we can do when it comes to learning how to develop the best in the intellect when it comes to the betterment of our humanity and salvaging the soul of humanity when it comes to mental suicide, emotional homicide, and spiritual genocide, and anything that is spiritual remains in its natural form and natural state. That we learn to move from dependence to independence to interdependence. I want to say this, that people with depression and anxiety frequently experience destructive, dysfunctional self-talk. It's called this Stop the Self-Talk Critic. Because our inner conversations that we say to ourselves really creates our circumstances. This self-talk, the internal chatter that they hear may be overtly and overwhelming, critical. You're very critical of yourself. That's why the purpose of coming together is to give each other constructive value. Biologically, when we were evolving from the sperm mixed with ovum, you were under construction. So we must give each other constructive value. We must overcome negative thinking and attacking ourselves ceaselessly. It says in severe cases, this type of inner dialogue can be curtailed with professional treatment such as cognitive behavior therapy. Yes, cognitive behavior therapy. In less acute cases, a negative inner critic can be challenged and sidelined, a process in which becoming consciously aware of his role is the first step. Be consciously of your role. Your role is your character, and character is the outgrowth of your humanity. You are lovable as you are. And don't be deceived by people who are going out trying to alter their way to make themselves to be more appealing, more likable, more lovable, more sellable, more marketable. You are lovable as you are. This peak on my head is natural. I refuse to allow anyone to cut it off. That's me. It's a part of me. So we must use these straightforward self-help techniques can be useful, such as practicing a more constructive inner voice with creative and positive tones, and addressing oneself maybe in the third person. Research has found that using one's name instead of I during moments of inner dialogue can create a useful psychological distance from the self. and its emotional intensity, enabling one to avoid in performing and perform to avoid um, thinking of yourself in ways that will cause more harm than good. But we want to develop in this regard a greater self-love, a greater perspective, a calmness, a sense of confidence, a sense of self-assurance, a sense of self-determination, a sense of self-motivation, a sense of self-encouragement, a sense of self-affirmation. Yes, a sense of self-love and in our inner dialogue, because sometimes we look in the mirror and we may not like our jobs. We may have lost our jobs. We have went through so much pain and turmoil, struggle, strain, and strife that it becomes difficult to overcome it. But out of the difficulty becomes ease, because you become the problem solver in the optimal, in the best, in the healthiest ways. How so? Because you are the gift of life. Your presence here is a gift. That's what the present means. You are a present, a gift. So during this season, during any time of uncertainty, when things become cloudy and not clear about your course of action and your direction in which you need to go and how you need to go about doing it, I say to you, just embrace yourself, squeeze that, feel the energy that will emanate and radiate, and that will help you to overcome the challenges that we face in life, and know that you may seem to be at times all alone, but there are relationships that you have established, healthy relationships, that knowing that makes you become acutely aware that you are not alone. Tap into the technology in the best of ways. Play a favorite tune. Play a relaxing melody. Read a healthy or a peaceful book. Some who may be in the religious thing, read a text from the Bible or the Quran, or a quote from Buddha. Do things that will ease the tension, and that you may be able to create an environment of serenity, and lessen the environment of stress. Smile, encourage someone else, help someone else. Be able to use this life, your hands, your eyes, your ears, your mouth, in the best of ways, because it says that I have come that you may have life and live it more abundantly. Katawa is the Arabic term. The abundance, and there is more to be done, and there is more to do for you, for me, for us, for the greater good, and salvaging, which means healing the soul your humanity and the humanity of others. Common humanity mission, promoters of the value of self-worth, communicated with precision a clearer image to the world through 5 channels of communication: understanding, tolerance, temperance, confidence, and respect. Promoters of the value of self-worth. The Cash App is CH Mission, and we always say give to the gift of social literacy. The Cash App is CH Mission. And remember, there's more to you than what you see. Until next time, stay strong. Keep your head up. Stay focused. Stay in tune. Love who you are. Know that you are that star. Talk to you.